Hello, everybody. Welcome to Making Friends with Money Masterclass Day 1. I'm so excited for this masterclass. I've been getting all these downloads in the middle of the night about it and what I'm supposed to say, and really big revelations over here in regards to my own relationship with money. That I will be sharing a little bit about today as well. So when you come on, say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. So happy to see you here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I think, Lisa, you just joined us this morning, right? Or was it last night? I'm not sure which group you saw me in, but welcome. So happy to have you here today. So I'm just going to, and actually, if you have not downloaded our money breakthrough guide yet, go ahead and do that. It is pinned in the featured section of this group here, and you're also going to need a journal and a pen. So go ahead and grab that, and I will pull you up on my laptop while we're doing that. So you're going to need to download the money breakthrough guide at the top, and also grab a journal and a pen. Welcome. As you come on, say hi in the comments. If you're just coming on, we are downloading the Money Breakthrough Guide. Hi, Donna. Welcome, neighbor. Go ahead and download the Money Breakthrough Guide that is pinned to the featured section. If you haven't done that yet, I will walk you through day 1 today, but it helps to have it handy so you can see it as well. Awesome. Okay, I see myself. So I'm going to put the link in the comments here to make it easier for you guys to find that. You're also going to need a journal and a pen. We're going to be doing the journal exercise together today. So you can go ahead and grab that if you don't have that handy. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If people come on later, they can always watch the replay. So I'm just going to, honor your time and go ahead and get started here. So if you're new to me, I'm Julie 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞. I help people with their money mindset so that they can step further onto their path. The group that I work with the most is the creative entrepreneurs. I'm a former professional, well, not really former, I don't know, I guess I am, professional photographer. That was my first business. And then I started intuitive coaching, and that was the business that felt really aligned for me and took off very quickly. I made a lot of money. I also made some choices that caused me to lose money. I mean, just like every entrepreneur, right? And why I'm doing this class today is because money has caused me a lot of joy and also a lot of pain. And it has definitely had control over me, has determined, the road that I went down, the path that I took. And I don't want people to have to be in a kind of relationship with money where it controls you or it limits you in any way. And just, to share, an example, well, when I was growing up, my parents, weren't happily married. We'll say that. And my mom, worked for my dad, but she was kind of stuck in the relationship because of financial reasons. And I saw my mom suffering, and it was really hard. And I remember asking my mom, crying to my mom, why don't you just get divorced? Hi, Summer. You can go ahead and download that Money Breakthrough Guide and grab a journal and a pen. I'm sharing my why right now. So I begged my mom to get divorced because it was an unhealthy relationship and I saw her suffering, and it caused me a lot of pain to know that one of the reasons why she didn't leave was for financial reasons, because she was raised to believe, you marry someone who's wealthy. My dad was a dentist. And you just kind of depend on them to take care of you financially, and then the wife takes care of the children. And that's what happened in my home, but it wasn't a happy marriage. And my dad was mentally ill, bipolar disorder is what he suffered from, and also drug addiction. He's no longer with us. He is on the other side, and he is one of my guides now, which is kind of funny because we didn't have a good relationship at all. When he died, I felt a big sense of relief, but also fear, because I'm a medium, and I was afraid I would see him. I was afraid he would make himself known to me, and I didn't know what he would say. I did not speak to him the last 10 years of his life. He was homeless. He was on the streets. He was doing drugs, went bankrupt. So we lost all of the money that we had as children. So it was really tough. And I heard my parents fight a lot about money. So to me, money was always a source of stress, even though we seemed to have a lot of it. My mom always said that we didn't. So I was very confused growing up in terms of money. One parent was saying we have a lot. The other one was saying we don't have enough. So fast forward to my own adult life, I got into a relationship where we repeated that cycle as far as being with someone that wanted more of a traditional role. Now, he was not abusive like my dad was, but he wanted more of the traditional role. He wanted me to care for the children. He wanted me to be happy being home and being domestic, and it just wasn't me. I don't like to cook. I don't like to clean. I love my children, but I need something else to fulfill me. And as soon as I started my business, our relationship took a turn. And especially because it was a spiritual business, and my, partner was Catholic. So he didn't agree with my beliefs. So our relationship came to an end. We ended up getting divorced, and I was in a panic because I was about to become a single mom. I was making $40,000 a year as a part-time photographer, basically just working on weekends as people booked me. Did that, for 5 years. So I was doing that part-time while I was raising my children. And then when I just couldn't take the pain anymore of not, stepping out and doing my purpose, which was to be a medium and a coach, I started out on my own, and I was terrified, and I prayed to the divine, and I just said, if I am to relieve this relationship, I need the resources to do so. My medium told me that I was a gifted medium and I could do readings for others just like she did for me. And I was like, okay, I have no other options at this point. It was during COVID and we couldn't do photography in person anyway. So I started doing readings for people, and 2 months later, I had a $20,000 come in 1 month, and I was shocked. And I was like, what the heck? I literally just started. I haven't been trained by anyone. How did I know how to do this? It was really wild. And people were coming to me for money mindset. And again, I feel like I didn't really choose it. It chose me. And it was wild, and the money came in so easily and so quickly. And then I started having feelings of that I didn't deserve it. It was too easy. I had the belief that making money was hard. And I also had the belief of easy come, easy go. So if that money comes in easily, it's going to leave just as easily. So don't get too attached to it. Same feeling that I have in love, money and love are related, but it's like fear of if I get too connected, they're just going to leave. So I'm not even going to open myself to it, or I'm going to attract people who are unavailable, which is what I've done. But all of this self-awareness that I've developed from these experiences, it is what has guided me to help others because of the pain that I've been through around money. And maybe one day I'll be teaching healthy love relationships. Today's not that day because I haven't figured that part of my life out yet. But I am in a place of really feeling at peace with money. And it doesn't matter how much money is in my account. It doesn't matter how much money comes in. It's more of the relationship with money that I've made peace with, and is what guided me to teach this class today, because I especially don't want people to be stuck or feel like they're stuck in an unhealthy relationship because of money. And like my story shows, and I wrote my whole story here in my book, Free to Fly, Manifest the Life of Your Dreams, which is the story I'm sharing right now. But if you pray and you ask the divine for assistance, if this is for me, show me, like bring the resources in, make that path clear to me, like ask those things of your angels and guides, and it absolutely can happen for you. And that's what happened for me. And, you know, today I'm in a place of, I really want people to say yes to their mission and purpose. If you don't know what that is, that's what I help my clients realize in our coaching and in our private readings, because, you know, it's very painful to not go towards your purpose. If you know what it is and you're not doing it, like if you're a creative and you know you're meant to be on stage and you're not taking any action steps towards it, it's going to become more painful. If you've been wanting to write a book and you haven't started, or maybe you've written the whole book and you're just afraid to publish it, those are the people I want to help. I want to help ignite you and get you on that path of purpose, because nothing feels better. And it's that feeling of peace that we really want. And also the feeling of exhilaration that comes when we're in alignment with our purpose. When I speak on stage, when I speak to a group in person, especially, I feel so lit up. When I do things like this, when I make live videos and people are tuned in live, I feel on purpose. It feels aligned for me. It doesn't matter how much money I make from it, because this feeling right now is me being on purpose. And that's what I want for others as well. So that's why I'm doing this. And, you know, if any of my story resonates with you, put a comment below. Let me know if any of this is resonating with you. You know, if maybe you've been through divorce as well, or maybe you've had a rocky relationship with money. Maybe you've had the beliefs, easy come, easy go. Making money is hard. You have to trade your time for money. Those are all beliefs that I have had, that I've had to work through, or I've gotten to work through to release that. And I actually just took a job as well where, like, it was like trading your time for money to a T. It was very time intensive. Donna said resonating. It was very time heavy. And it really, when I left the position, it really made me value my time like 1,000% more. And it was like, wow, like time is abundance. And I also evaluated how much time I was dedicating to my business, how much time I was allocating for clients to come in, how much time I was spending on connection calls, marketing. Like, I really started to do an assessment of the way I was spending my most precious asset, which is my time. And, you know, as far as money goes, like, money can come in so many different ways that you haven't even thought of yet. And, you know, once we get to the bottom of these beliefs holding you back, that's when the money can come in and you can grow that money rather than have that belief like I did, easy come, easy go. We don't want that one. So what we're going to do now, let me see, I'm looking at my notes here, make sure I'm still on schedule with what I wanted to share. So we are going to be working through my money breakthrough guide. It is a 5-day guide. So today we're going to do day 1 together, and I decided to do the next days with you live as well. So if you can come be with us in person, great. If you can't, you can watch the replay that will stay up in the group, and you know, you can follow along with the money breakthrough guide, which is what we'll be working through. It's more powerful to do it here as a group, because if some things come up for you, I can coach you through them. I can answer questions you have. We can support each other, and knowing that we're not alone in having these limiting beliefs. So it's most powerful to do it together, but if you can't, just make sure you come back and watch the replays. And I'm going to put the dates in the comments here, so you know the dates of the upcoming live videos, so you can make a note of that. Come when you can, come as much as you can. Okay. So those are the dates of the next live video. So we'll work through the money guide day by day. That's my plan here. So the next video is going to be shared tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. And So day one of the guide, so let me take some water here. Okay. So day one of the guide, before we get into it, I want to talk to you about automatic writing. So if you're not familiar with automatic writing is when you allow your conscious mind to rest and you tap more into your intuition. Hi, Penelope, welcome. You didn't miss anything. I just shared my story. We're actually like getting started with the content right now. So you're right on time. Divine time. Okay, so automatic writing. So automatic writing is a way to tap into your intuition. So we do that by coming down into our heart center, and this is the seat of our higher self. So when I work with my clients, and my favorite way to work with them is to talk to their higher self from my higher self. And some of my clients can do it like that, like they're just more open to it. Others just want me to tell them, what's my purpose? What's next for me? Is this relationship good for me? And I can do that, but my preference is to teach you how to tap into your own intuition. And I do this during my readings and coaching calls. And so that I can talk to your higher self from my higher self, so we get to the heart of what's really going on. So it's not like people just coming to me and I tell them. It's more like a co-creation process. When you work with me, you agree to access that higher wisdom, higher knowledge that lives within you. And being with someone like me will enhance your intuition automatically. I've seen that happen time and time again. People come into my space and they're like, how did I know that? Like, I just remembered all this stuff and I don't even know. And it's because it's part of my role is to help open people up. And that's what I do. And, sometimes people are scared of what they might find, but your reality is manifesting based on what's going on in your inner world. So if you ignore what's going on in your inner world, if there's trauma from the past or there's things that you've stuffed down, that is going to manifest outward. So it's much better to just clean house. And I don't believe it has to take a long time. I'm not someone I love therapists. I love hypnotherapists. I love coaches, healers of all kinds. Personally, I don't like to talk about my problems for a long term. That doesn't work for me. So the way I do it is like a quick cleaning house, and like we expose it. Once you're aware of it, there's such power in that. No longer has control over you. Once you're aware of what's holding you back, it can't control you anymore. You notice it sooner. You're like, oh, I see that. No, thank you. We're not going down that road. I'm not going to date you. I'm not going to say yes to that client. Like, you see it sooner. You trust yourself more, and you're willing to, do what's best for you. So that's really, what I help people to do. So for automatic writing, and we are going to tap into automatic writing to do the journal exercises in the guide, because consciously we think we know what's holding us back, but it's usually something much deeper. And I will give you an example. I just did this myself this morning, and I was journaling and I was working through the money block, easy come, easy go. And in the past, I've said like, well, it's easier to make money than save money. I have always just been a manifester, and it's like I'm creative. There's a lot of things I can do. I'm going to say I have a lot of different talents, as most creatives do. Like, we have a lot of different things we can do. And, making money was easy for me. Saving money, I didn't really think was necessary, because I was like, well, just go make more. That's easy, right? And then I got to a place in my life where making the money was not easy, probably because I needed to do some inner work. And it stopped being easy, and it stopped flowing in with ease. And then I got in panic mode, and then I was fearful, and then I cut off my flow. And then I just kept going down and down into the spiral to the place of not having money for rent, and, crying in a parking lot and calling my mom and being like, can you give me rent money? Because I can't pay my rent this month. And that felt very shameful, and felt like, well, what the hell? Like, I have this business, I have all these talents. Like, how did I get here? Like, what's going on here? But it was my unwillingness at the time to look at my own limiting beliefs, thinking that, oh, it's easy for me to make money, because in the past it was. So when I started going back into it and looking at the limiting beliefs myself again, I found that the easy come, easy go belief was really only around money that was easy to make. That money that was easy to make was also easy to go because I thought I didn't deserve it. And I was like, oh, that was the piece I was missing before. Because money that's hard earned, I will like hoard it and hold on to it and protect it and guard it and just like not want to spend it. Money that comes in easy, it's like as soon as it comes in, I want it to go right back out, because inherently I believed I didn't deserve it. And I'm like, cool, like, so what, now what? Like, once you know this, like, there's a minute of like, shit, like, I wish I knew that before. Right? Because what would have happened if that money that came in easily, if I actually invested that money in something? What if I, put it into real estate or stocks, like which I was considering doing when the money was coming so easily? And now I'm like, cool, like, so what, now what? Now how do I want to, handle my money? Well, when it comes in, I can take a percentage of it and put it into savings. So I can see that money growing. I can take a percentage of it, put it into my retirement, put it into stocks. Like, I can actually choose, no matter how much comes in, because there's another limiting belief that is you need to be wealthy to invest. And that's simply not true. With the money that comes in, if you take percentages of it, even if it's like $100, and just start investing it in different areas and growing your money, watching that money grow, it's like a game. And then you don't have to feel so like, well, I need to wait until I have a lot of it, because I don't think anyone ever gets to the point of thinking that they have disposable income. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've worked with clients that I would say are very wealthy, and they still don't think they have disposable income, because what happens when you grow in wealth, you also grow in your team. You start to like, you have other employees and other expenses. Maybe if you're a photographer, you get a studio space. Now you have to pay rent, you have to pay, electricity, like, so the expenses will grow as you grow as a business. And so usually people don't ever think they have disposable income. Now, people always find money for something that they prioritize. If you like to eat out, you'll find money to do that, or you'll just do it anyway, whether you have the money or not. But it's really about like looking at your patterns. And that's what my money guide is created to do, to start exposing some of this, bringing some of it to the light, so that you can start seeing for yourself, what is it, that it feels like you never get to the point of having more than enough, or being abundant, right? So in the money guide, the first activity is a question that I haven't done my own guide in a while. I created this like 4 years ago. I've updated it a little bit, and I feel like I need to update it again with my new story. But I looked at this question again, and it was a triggering question. And this question may trigger you. But if it does, okay, like let it trigger you. It's some kind of something within you that feels like, oh, how can that be true? But part of you doesn't want to have everything that you say that you want. So it's about exposing why. Why? So the question is, why don't you want to be successful? So I'm going to put that in the comments here. And what I'm going to have you do is on the top of your page, I just want you to write, why don't you want to be successful? So we're going to write the question, why don't I want to be successful? And then we're going to do the automatic writing exercise, where we tap down lower into our heart center, intuition. So I'm going to just have you breathe with me, and I'm just going to help you come down to that heart-centered place. And then we're going to get into more of a meditative state. You may notice that your eyes kind of like blur out a little bit. You just feel more relaxed. You feel more calm. When I talk, my voice sounds different. But I want you to write from this more meditative place. Your handwriting might be messy, and you're just going to write and not judge anything that comes out. We're not looking at, I'm from Catholic school, so I was like drilled with grammar. You're not allowed to think about spelling or grammar or correct anything or cross anything out. You're just going to write until your pen stops writing. And then we go back and read it from our conscious mind to see what came out. So I'm going to do a meditation, just kind of bring you down into your intuition. Then we'll open our eyes and then go ahead and start answering this question, why don't I want to be successful? All right, so if you are somewhere where you can close your eyes, please do that now. Get yourself nice and comfortable wherever you are. And we're going to start taking some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Angels, guides, ascended masters, please help us to come down into our heart center, into the seat of our intuition. Help us to receive the wisdom from our higher self in regards to this question, why we don't want to be successful. If you have thoughts in your mind, I just want you to say, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release. This time is for you to tune into yourself, to your own inner wisdom. Nothing else needs your attention right now. Nobody else needs you to be listening to them, doing anything for them. This time is for you. So first, thanking yourself for taking the time for yourself to be here, to look at this, to have the courage and bravery to even look at a topic such as money. Can be a very triggering topic, and you said yes to being here, to being present, to carving out this time for you. So thanking yourself first for allowing this space and time for that clarity. Also, thank you for trusting me to be your guide in this, to help you connect to your heart center. And I just want you to just bring attention down to the heart. If there's any tightness in the heart, if you feel any tightness in the chest, you're just going to tell your heart, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release, relax, release. You're safe. You are supported. You can trust yourself. And I'm just going to speak from my higher self to your higher self. I'm ready to look at this. I am ready to be more aware of what's really going on. I am ready to clear anything that's standing in the way of living a life of freedom and abundance and prosperity and fun and play and exhilaration and just feeling happy and allowing myself to just feel amazing and to be excited every day and to wake up and know that the day is mine and I get to do what I want to do, go where I want to go, talk to whoever I want to talk with. I get to create my own reality. I get to choose. This is all my choosing. I choose this. I choose this life. I choose to be alive. I choose to feel loved. I choose to feel free and abundant. I choose peace. I choose wisdom. I choose clarity. I choose freedom. I'm ready to look at this. So I want you to visualize the question in your third eye. Just visualize this question. Why don't I want to be successful? Higher self, why don't I want to be successful? And I want you to slowly open your eyes and just start writing whatever wants to come out. If you feel yourself get into the mind trying to think about it, just take some deep breaths, close the eyes again, and go back in. You can ask yourself another question to go deeper. All right, so I'm going to have you, if you feel called, to share what came up for you in the comments, or if you have any questions about what we just did, questions that, something you're not sure about, put it and go ahead and put it in the comments now. So I'm going to share what came through for mine. So I found that mine was a conversation between my inner child and my higher self, and they were talking to each other. And the inner child was saying that she was afraid that, well, I can read it to you. This is super vulnerable. But here we go. So why don't I want to be successful? I'm afraid of what they might think. And then, so higher self is the one asking the questions. The responses are from my inner child. Who is they? My family, my friends, my colleagues. They already don't like me. And then I said, is that true? And then she said, I don't like me. And I said, why not? And she said, because I'm not like everyone else. I'm different. I'm scared. And then higher self, why are you scared? Inner child, they will leave me out. I'm tired of being alone, of playing alone. I'm in a different plane and a different playing field. Higher self, why can't you play with, my handwriting's messy because I was like so in a meditative state. Why can't you play with those who are on your playing field? Inner child, they don't know who I am. I haven't played with them yet. Higher self, why not? Inner child, I'm afraid they won't recognize me, won't remember me. Higher self, you're afraid they won't be excited to see you? Inner child, yes, I'm afraid they'll feel threatened by me. Higher self, is that true? Inner child, I'm seeing them looking at their own audiences and not noticing me at all. Higher self, will they share the platform with you? Higher self also responded, it's not their choice, it's yours. I guess inner child asked, how can I step further onto my platform? Higher self said, use your voice, sing, cheer, voice recordings, we'll call them in. It's like an animal calling out to its mates. And that's when I got this peaceful feeling that felt like it was complete. So that was my experience. Donna, let me see. Donna said, I don't deserve success. I'm not worthy of success. I'm afraid of the responsibility of success. Yes, lots of inner child conversation. Yeah, that's, we can call it inner child or lower self. It's the wounded part of us. It's like the wounded feminine. There's the divine feminine, and then there's the wounded feminine. And the wounded feminine is the little girl who feels like no one wants to play with her. No one accepts her. People don't think she looks right. Whatever you experienced, in childhood, often it does replay later in life, and that lower part of you or wounded part of you is what can interfere with our relationship with others and our relationship with money. But again, it's kind of that place of like, cool, like, so what now? What am I going to do with this information? Now that I know this, how can I dig deeper? And something that I like to do is when I'm journaling like this, I just keep asking deeper questions. Like when my little girl said, I don't like me. And then I said, well, why not? So it's like asking yourself those questions, and you can act as higher self. This is how I wrote my book, by the way. I had somebody interview me, and I just channeled responses And that's what I wrote about. My next book is like all channeled, like it's about purpose. And I just, I actually had somebody give me questions and I just channeled the responses. So that was pretty freaking cool. But enough about me. I like to talk. Penelope said, I mainly got messages about letting go. My time of grieving my stepdad is coming to an end. Fear of my mom passing with all of her ailments and reliance on me. It's time to move forward to live and love my life. My fear of not healing is possible by calling in from the others, those skilled to help me, my guides. I will be taken care of. It's okay. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate your vulnerability. Thank you, Donna, for sharing and being open with us. I appreciate your vulnerability as well and your bravery. You know, and like, as you can see, like money, like didn't even really come up. Like at least in mine, there wasn't there at all. It was about people not liking me. And I've spent a lot of quiet time alone since I, transitioned from my job that I worked for a company back to my business full time. And in the quiet, it was like, let me see what I lost it. Let me see if I can bring it back. It really was like the worthiness piece and like how I value my time, what I'm saying yes to and what I'm allowing into my space. The kind of relationships I want to have. It's really, really beneficial to carve time out for yourself to just go within and to get those answers and to do work like this. Like people can, call it like shadow work, inner child work. They call it all different kinds of things. But if we don't know what's holding us back, we can't do anything about it. So that's the whole purpose of this, is to help illuminate these things. And then once we know what they are, it's like, cool, now I'm different now. Like you shift as you know what it is, as you grow in that self-awareness. So that's what practices like this can help you do. There is another activity on day 1 that I'm going to have you do on your own. So I'm going to put it in the comments here as homework. It is to write a letter to money as if it were a person. And if you've got anger around money, if you've got sadness or, or joy, gratitude, whatever it is for you, writing a letter to money, and just that helps to release the emotions around it, because our emotions are what it feels like. Emotions control us. It feels like emotions dictate our lives. They really don't. They're just, emotions is energy in motion, and they just want to pass through us. So when we do exercises like this and allow them to come out and come to the light, especially when doing it with others like this, it helps to we heal each other. So that's something that you can do on your own. Penelope just shared, valuing my time even more is a priority this year. What am I saying yes to with my time? This includes my own choices and thoughts. Exactly. Oh, so many chills on that. Yes. Yes. What am I saying yes to? And carving out time in your schedule for creativity. Like that is so important too, for inspiration. When we have our schedules so booked with meeting with other people, being in other people's energy, that interferes with our own inspiration, and we're not going to receive the guidance that can make our path light up for us. So the more time you carve out just for you, like I've started carving out mornings for myself now. I'm not taking client calls before 12 p.m. now. That's I never would have done that in the past. I would have been so scared of not having enough money, not having enough people, coming in. And now I realize the importance of doing my full morning routine of, waking up. Now I am waking up the same time every day because I'm doing intermittent fasting, and that works for my body. So I'm waking up the same time, eating at the same time every day just to regulate my body. But I am allowing myself to have my full morning by myself. When I have my children, I drop them off at school. I'm a single mom, so I have my kids half of the time. But when I have my kids, I take them to school, I do my mom duties, and then I have the morning to myself after that. When I don't have my children, I just take the morning to myself, and then I start taking client calls at 12, and I just work till later now. I do 12 to 6, and then I also will limit the time that I meet with others in person. You know, before I was just saying yes to all of that, and it was clouding my intuition. It was clouding my own time to receive divine inspiration. And it made me feel exhausted and burned out, even though it wasn't work. Like technically we were like networking, right? But it was still like, it was too much time with others and not enough time with myself and with my higher power, which is really important to keep that time. And also have time in your schedule where you have nothing scheduled so that the new can come in. So whatever that is, if you get the inspiration to start a podcast, like that's the time you get to work on your podcast. You know, if you get an inspiration to learn whatever, read a book, then that's your time to do that. Or maybe someone reaches out and wants to do a collaboration. That can't happen if your schedule is packed. So time is also something that is part of the abundance equation that I'm passionate about teaching as well. All right, so we're going to be meeting again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. And I do have the option, if anybody wants to work with me one-on-one, this can get, you know, this work is deep. Like this is very deep. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I do have the opportunity to book a free money breakthrough call with me. And that's where I can, you know, just ask you questions and just, you know, kind of talk with you, provide some insight into what could be going on. If you want to work with me one-on-one, we can talk about what that could look like. That is an option for you because I know this is really personal work and not everybody's comfortable doing it in a group setting. And I applaud those of you who shared, you know, what came through for you because that's, you know, personal. And I also am like a hawk when it comes to my groups. And if anybody, like I have a zero tolerance policy. If anybody's rude or disrespectful or just weird, they're gone in a second. So I'm very protective of my spaces. This is a private, sacred space. And I know a lot of the people that are in this group, like I personally invited a lot of them. So there's a lot of powerful, you know, really loving people here. And those of you that I don't know yet, you know, I just will be monitoring and making sure that it's a safe space for everyone to share, to be vulnerable. And if someone is being weird, they're gone. And if you see something weird, let me know and I'll just kick them out. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today. If you can join us tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, and I put the other dates in the chat there. Any questions before we close out here today? Awesome. Yay. Well, thanks for being here. Great work today. You're welcome. Great work for day one. I hope to see you tomorrow. I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.